Hi everybody, I'm William Payne. This is a story about a man named Cordell Kidd. See, Cordell, he was a cattle driver, and him and his wife Sarah, they sold off their ranch and decided to move up to a new town up in Colorado way. Well, Sarah got a job at the faro table, and one night she was running off some thugs running her table, and they come in that night and they kidnapped her and they hung her up in a tree right north of town there. Well, this struck Cordell Kidd real hard. He sold off everything he had and he bought a gun and he learned how to use it. For 3 years he hunted these men, made sure that he was going to get his revenge. He robbed a bank up in New York to fund his hunt, and that's what caused him to earn the name Cordell Kidd. He shot 2 men with his pistol and took a bunch of money from the Chase Bank in Manhattan up in New York. After that, he traveled back south, heading towards Mexico looking for the Baker boys, the ones that murdered and branded his wife. Well, he made it down south of Colorado and started riding the trail down south there, and he came up on a narrow canyon. He couldn't ride his horse through this canyon, so he hopped off his horse and he grabbed his rifle and he's walking his horse, see, and he gets in front of his horse and they're walking through this canyon, and gets real tight, you know, and it's dark, but he can still see that the trail's going on, so he's going to keep on going. So Cordell, he's determined to find these Baker boys, and he keeps on going, and then the trail opens back up, and he can see again. And the sun's shining in the middle of the day, and it shines down on a big opening with a cave to one side and a mine shaft on the other side there. And Cordell thought, man, this looks like a really good place for somebody to hide out. So he went around the back side there and he tied off his horse Lefty to a tree. Didn't want anything happening to his trusty horse. He ties him off to a tree there and he sneaks up on the mine shaft. Wants to peek in there and listen and see if there's anything going on, if anybody's there. As he's sneaking up, the Baker boys walk out. "Morning, boys," he said. The first one dropped. He pointed his gun at the second one. "You took everything I ever had!" The second Baker boy dropped to his knees, let out a yell. "She was costing us money!" Cordell shot him in the other leg. Said, "That was all I had. You took her from me. Now I got nothing left." The Baker boy pleaded, "Please, don't kill me." Cordell shot him dead. He stood there silent for a moment. He said, "Lord, forgive me." He dumped his spent shells out of his revolver. He reloaded, put his gun back in his holster, and he went and said a prayer over the 2 boys. Gathered whatever he could that was worth any value, got back on his horse Lefty, and headed back into town. He didn't know what he was going to do after that. His wife was gone. His ranch was gone. And now he finally killed the Baker boys. He was wanted pretty much every state had in 1891. And he couldn't go down to Mexico. And Billy and Sundance run those territories. He had no guff with them. So he bought an old cabin up in the mountains there, right east above the town that him and Sarah moved to so long ago. And he lives out his days in seclusion in the woods of Colorado.